So welcome everyone. My name is Michał Kramas. I'm responsible for Google for Startups in the Central Eastern Europe region. And together with me, we have three special guests with three very different perspectives, with different nationalities. But I will let the guests introduce themselves, because that's probably the best way that you can talk. But I would like to ask you for two things. Like one thing, in 1 minute, talk about yourself, your company, and why here. Oh, maybe 2 minutes. Katrina, you would like to start?
Hello, my name is Katerina Borovova. I represent Ukrainian startup Let's Data. We provide proactive and predictive security. So basically, we look for, we detect early media anomalies and help evaluate the impact and act on those pressure points that we've detected. I actually represent a talent pool, so I'm from the tech team, and actually I can provide that perspective. That's basically it. I'm hoping that my perspective will be valuable here today.
Bartek?
Hi, I'm Bartek. I've been and I feel investor and an entrepreneur. I've lived and worked in 6 countries around the world. 2 years ago, I brought Endeavor to Poland. Some people say we're a global unicorn club, but in fact, we're a community of growth entrepreneurs, so the ones who dream big and act global, scale fast, and pay it forward. Why we exist? Actually, we believe that entrepreneurs not only solve problems, but they can change people's lives, and in fact, they can jumpstart the whole ecosystems. That's why we support growth entrepreneurs, so that once they become successful, we see that effect of successful entrepreneurs actually inspire, mentor, and invest in the next generation. And that's how success stories make people succeed over and over again.
Perfect. I'm Mick Griffin, currently head of growth at Trafford, which is a recruitment technology based out of Gdynia here in Poland. My story is quite simple, or maybe a little bit different, because I've worked for 3 Polish tech startups. So currently in Trafford, and before that was very lucky to work with Brand24 and GetResponse. And my role in those companies was mostly to take them international, to help them on that journey from being a really solid Polish company to going international. But I always have to add a disclaimer that I've actually lived here the whole time. So Poland is home for me. I live in Gdynia for 15 years. And yes, sadly, ja nie mówić po polsku.
So you didn't get the Polish nationality yet?
No, I don't think they're willing to give it to me yet. So they're not sure about it yet. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so we have a very different perspectives, very different nationalities. Let's go to why are you here? Like, you lead different organizations, you work for different organizations. Katrina, you're representing probably the biggest value of our ecosystem here in Central Eastern Europe, which is tech talent, doing the ML and cybersecurity things. Why are you all here?
Maybe I can go, because I'm, yeah.
Go.
So,
you're the longest here, so.
In some respects. So, yeah, I mean, it's a topic that I think we'll cover a little bit today. That I got extremely lucky, but it's actually why I've been here for 15 years and why I'm probably here longer, which is, as I joined the Polish ecosystem, the startup ecosystem, the tech ecosystem, it was a moment when Poland was extremely flourishing around their technological expertise, their developer expertise. It was an amazing hub, and still is, of course, of ingenuity of building products. But at the time, there wasn't so much experience, or there wasn't so much talent on the market for going global. So I got very lucky at that time that I joined a company like GetResponse as the first international person. And ironically, that happened 3 times. I was the first foreigner. But why I'm here, and even why I'm on the stage, is because I actually think we have fundamental huge amounts of opportunity here from the CE and the Polish market to take those skills on much faster and be more confident about them. when I joined the Polish ecosystem, the only idea for going international was that you had to go and raise some money and hire someone in Silicon Valley, which some companies did successfully. Some learned very expensive lessons. And I always had that mentality of, hey, listen, we can do this from here. You don't have to go and put $500,000 a year into a mini kind of plug-and-play startup office. If it's your decision to do that, great, but it's not the only way. And luckily, not through my own influence, but in general, we are starting to see, luckily, many great companies now in CE are showing that it's possible. You don't have to go set up shop in that. So I think that's why I'm here, and I'm still, there's been great strides in the last 15 years, but there's still more confidence to be built in the growth, the sales and marketing specifically, to catch up with the great tech talent, basically.
Bartek?
It's probably the first time I'm in Rzeszów, to be honest. I come from Gdańsk. I lived all around the world, now based in Warsaw, so happy to be in Rzeszów. Who is a founder among you? Tech founder, or any founder? Okay, some of you. So once a founder like you, or maybe you're already at that stage, are post-product market fit and start scaling globally, probably there's been only few people who've done that or who've seen that out of Poland. You have challenges that nobody understands. Growth is pain many, many times, right? And at Endeavor, we listen to growth founders. We hear their challenges, but we will not tell you what to do. We will connect you with probably the most meaningful person that's around the world that you should speak with, because the person has been there, has done that. Or maybe you're curious about who they were before they did it, because you want to do it together with them once again. Also, that makes your learning much faster. Have you heard of that theory of 6 handshakes to reach any person in the world?
Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Right? So at Endeavor, we reduce it to 2, and then make sure you reach out to the most meaningful person for your challenge, for your opportunity all around the world. That's very meaningful to growth entrepreneurs. That's why I run Endeavor. And I ask myself that question, what would you do, Bartek, if you had endless amount of money? Which I don't yet. I would do Endeavor. I'm very happy to be here.
Kate?
Such an inspiring speech, actually. So I'm here to kind of spotlight the potential that you already hold, that we Ukrainians already hold in a technological sphere. There are a few obvious points, okay? So the competitive rates or academic excellence, this is kind of obvious. But there are some things that you could develop, that you can benefit from. Like, for example, we in this region, we have to think multilingually, for example. So there are some basic settings of doing business in here that can benefit internationally. So yeah, that's what I was hoping to spotlight on, put the spotlight on. And of course, where there's pressure, there is possibility. So for us, in particular in Ukraine, this means shorter feedback loop. This means faster knowledge transfer. This means unexpected collaborations that could really birth interesting ideas. So this is the part of technological perspective that I really want you to pursue, to see, not just from the standpoint of great people, but great culture and great infrastructure.
So I want to continue actually on the Ukrainian theme. Yeah. But first starting from what you were saying, like the multilingual topic. Yeah? Like, we tend to say Central Eastern Europe. It's like 190 million people. It's 20 plus countries. It's even more languages, not to mention the dialects and all the stuff. We say as the region that we have a great talent, technological talent. Mick said we're missing some sales skills, marketing things, etc. Yeah? I've been observing since 2022 like Ukrainian founders. And we've been, as Google, we've been running Ukrainian support fund. Now we're running the second one. So technically we supported 58 founders in the first fund. Now we aim to support up to 100. I'm constantly under a huge surprise how motivated the founders are despite the war. Now moving to Poland, we have a growing ecosystem. We have startups. We are getting more and more investments. Like, of course, the last 2 years have been a bit tougher, but in general, if you compare to what was 5 or even MIG when we met first 10 years ago, it's a totally different thing. What can we actually to do as the region to, one, learn from Ukrainian founders, but at the same time to kind of boost this ecosystem, and how we can in Poland, in Czech Republic, in Estonia, wherever we select, kind of intensify the action so that the countries within the region and the region actually uses its full potential.
I think you can go first maybe this time.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, because one other reason I'm here...
You bragged about 6 countries, so...
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Because, so maybe there one more reason I'm here is to tell you some stories. Yes, I like telling stories because I'm in that great place in my life when I meet phenomenal entrepreneurs every single day. I'm loving it. And maybe not all of you, but some know names of Łukasz Kaszczuk, Michał Kaszczuk, Łukasz Osowski, who created around the year 2000 Iwona software. Text-to-speech, right? And it was perceived #1 in the world, right? But the world didn't hear of that great tech and great product. One company that heard of it was Wirtualna Polska. So Iwona was actually reading articles on WP those days. It took over a decade, and Amazon spot out that great technology and acquired them. Small money those days, right? But those founders broke certain barriers. They started a company in very difficult times. They raised some money, probably couldn't raise more. They expanded around Poland. Probably their dreams were much bigger, and they exited. Pretty successful, but not the most successful you can imagine. Yeah? 10 years later, company called 11 Labs pops up. Yeah? Proud that 11 Labs are Endeavor entrepreneurs, so members of Endeavor. You probably have heard of text-to-speech, synthesis, 11 Labs, right? You all know about the company, probably. But have you heard of a Tunisian startup started by Karim Begir called InstaDeep? Gen AI, predicting mutations of viruses, acquired by BioNTech for over $700 million US. And the founder is back in Tunisia supporting entrepreneurs there. Or Hristo Borisov, Payhawk, more regional, another unicorn, payment settlement platform for enterprises. No? Hande Chillinger, Insider, probably #1 female founder in B2B software around the world, won many awards. Yeah, you probably haven't heard of. Why? Because you feel there is not much in common with those entrepreneurs. They come from distant countries. But you feel connection with 11 Labs. Yeah, maybe some of you are like mates to Mati or Piotr, or you came across them, or at least they speak your language, or they experience early in their life challenges or stories that you experience. So we feel close to them. And this is very important because 11 Labs, again, Mati and Piotr, they broke more barriers now, more obstacles, yeah? Young guys, global problem, global solution, global go-to-market, global investors, yeah? They can do it. So finally, or suddenly, probably all of you now believe it's possible to build a global company coming out of Poland, yeah? One step at a time, one entrepreneur at a time, but I'm super happy that we're progressing as an ecosystem, and those stories inspire, and when successful entrepreneurs inspire, then they mentor. We haven't had many exits because when they start exiting, we have the multiplier effect and it kicks us off, up.
And I think we can talk about exits in a sec. I know that Mick wanted to comment on it, and yeah, I also wanted to just give you one also example, like Respeecher, which is one of the Ukrainian startups that we actually supported with the fund. I was super surprised to hear from them that during the war, when the bombs were actually falling on the locations they were actually doing the translation of Obi-Wan Kenobi using AI. Yeah, this kind of shows that nothing is impossible as long as you have the faith that you're doing the thing. But Mick, over to you.
No, I think I just want to add on to that, but maybe approach it from a different side, because I think we've been very lucky in Poland that we've had really nice, matured VCs come through the market, and they started the market by saying to most startups, you can be a $1 billion valuation startup if you want to. What I would say is I also want to approach it from the other side, and if I could give any advice to a founder today is just really imagine if I said to you that you will get another chance to do this in the future. So you can't screw up so much that you're never allowed to run a startup again. And to tell the same story was, I used to do mentoring in Trójmiasto, and I mentored a really nice little startup. And 6 months later, I saw the founder in the business center, in Olivia Business Center, and he made eye contact with me and almost ran away. And I was like, oh my God, I must have really annoyed him or something. I must have really frustrated him. And he was about 100 meters away, so I wasn't going to chase him this time. I was skinnier then, I promise, but I would have probably caught him. But what happened was, about 3 months later after that, I managed to bump into him again, and I was like, hey, Pavel, how are you doing? And I was like, tell me something. Did you really run away from me 3 months ago? And he's like, I did. I was like, what's wrong? He's like, my startup didn't work, and I was ashamed to tell you. Now, when I interact with like the US market, the Silicon Valley, and probably other founders, and I think even here it's like, it's my fourth startup. It's my third startup. It's a badge of honor. And I think if we take away that fear of failing a little bit more, that little bit of like, this is my only shot, it's not. There's no rule that it's your only shot. And I think that would help us have that same, when you talk about the Ukrainian founders building the day of the war, it's because they were not thinking what happens if we don't make this work. They were thinking about what if we do. And I think we could have a little bit more of that in the ecosystem, that little bit more of a fear of failing. I think that would help us a lot in Poland.
I think Ukrainian startups aren't afraid of failing, especially
Exactly.
nowadays. So,
Exactly.
Kate, over to you.
Yeah, we choose faith over fear all the way. To continue in this inspirational vein, I would like to just express the hope that we could work together more closely. And I mean just this word, knowledge transfer, faster knowledge transfer. Mm-hmm. But in general, it's people meeting in these setups, telling each other stories about how they fail or how they succeeded. And in particular, sharing their technological expertise. This is important for me. It's a company like ours coming to universities, sharing the experience with students, as we do, by the way, all the time. And actually, this technical cooperation within the industry, I think that's an amazing thing, because today you could try this absolutely amazing new model that came out yesterday, and you implemented it, you tested it, you validated some hypothesis with it, as we did, for example, with 1.5 Flash. So we were just like Flash, we were just that speed. So yes, this technological expertise being shared is more valuable. It's synergy in our technological development. So I hope that we will tell each other stories.
Yeah, and I think like technology-wise, we're in a great position, both Poland, Ukraine. Yeah, I think even Ukraine currently, with all the situation, with the war and all the things, actually is even a little bit better positioned, because there is a urge, because there is a need. I would say probably something controversial, but on purpose. You can hate me for it. Okay. I think we got a bit too relaxed in Poland, to some extent, in terms of the startup. So my personal view, after working for the last 2+ years with the Ukrainian founders, I think we need a bit of hunger and we can definitely learn from each other. But at the same time, I think we can hugely benefit from the collaboration, as you were saying. Yeah, so bonding the ecosystems, we have probably one of the biggest tech talent pools not even in Europe. Yeah, if you count it globally. And I would like to continue on the thing, Mick, that you were saying, like the being scared of failure, and at the same time, you know, the sales and marketing skills. Yeah, how we can help here, because I've had numerous meetings with the founders who built an amazing product, who really like start this company, go to the specific moment, but then don't let go, or don't hire the people that actually could take the role of the CEO and actually lead the company with a growth mindset, with sales and marketing experience. Like how we can try to cope with this part.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very passionate topic of mine, because one of the things is, and I think, like you said, I don't know if the word is lazy, but we got complacent. And one of the first things we can do collectively is we have to start bringing the knowledge in. We have to bring the knowledge in. I mean, we have some really nice stories in Poland of companies that grew quite well, and those founders, those leaders, they talk. And the problem is that circuit is not as wide as we think it is, and it's not their fault. They only have so many stories to tell. Most of them have only built one company up to a certain level, and they share that. But I think we've got some very talented, more than ever now as well, the next generation or the young generation in Poland is more ambitious. They have less of those fears, but they need access to the knowledge. And when it's in Silicon Valley, when it's in Tel Aviv, we've got to do a really good job at Poland of bringing the talent in to share the knowledge. Sometimes let's hire it and bring it over as well. I mean, I talked about this before the panel, that now what's really ironically lucky for us is I've started to see that top or very skillful talent from the US market is starting to look at the job market in Eastern Europe, because they're starting to realize, well, hey, listen, the job market has shrunk a little bit in the USA. I'm struggling to get that top job in Fang or whichever brands it is. But they are starting to realize, but I started seeing these companies pop up, and then they are also identifying the inefficiencies. Why are they not doing this? Why are they not doing this? And then now what we're doing is we can open the door even more and say, we want you to come and do it with us. Come join us. Come be on that journey and all that. I'll be then very selfish, and I'll try to milk those people and say, by the way, I want you on stage at Carpathian. I want you to be at InfoShare. I want you to be giving webinars, because I've never thought we needed to outsource the work. What we do need to do is we need to pull the knowledge in as quickly as possible and teach our market how to market to other regions, because right now we are very dependent on, you know, Stefan's going to be on stage next. We've got Michał Sadowski who's on stage today. They are very, very smart people, but they have one story.
But the usual suspects.
They have one story, and they've told it, and they're not reinventing their business every year. So let's go get more stories, more examples, more ways of building, so that we actually give ourselves a fighting chance here of learning. That's what I would say, and I think we can do it. I think the investors are doing a great job of this now. They are pulling the talent and making connections, Endeavor, etc. I'm setting you up here. You've got to nail that one when I finish. But fundamentally, let's make the knowledge accessible on the market, and I think that would help a lot.
I just had some time ago I heard that sentence: when economies go down, entrepreneurs go up. And I learned a lot of stories about entrepreneurship in Argentina, in hyperinflation, or different remote regions. But actually, we have a great example in Ukraine. There's a war, and actually entrepreneurs stand up. Yeah. Or there are smaller markets like Estonia that, because the market is so small, they need to go global. So probably we have some work to do to create that eagerness to break barriers, to succeed, and to go global. And I really believe that we can do it through founder-to-founder connections. And it's at every stage. It's from the ideation stage, startup stage, growth stage as well. Because then again, we
The biggest myth that we could get away with, sorry for interrupting you, it's really...
No, go on.
I've heard it so many times when Polish companies say, we're going to grow in Poland and that's going to fund our global expansion. No, it's an anchor. Guaranteed, 99 times out
The
of 100.
second one is we're going Germany, yeah?
Yeah, so sorry, I just wanted to add that point.
Jens, you talk great things, but I want to give the voice also to Katerina.
Please.
Yeah, so what do I add to that? I mean, we in Ukraine do want things to be normal. I mean, of course, we feel that anger, we feel that pressure, but that actually contributes to a focus more shift on today and just a certain set of technologies. We're lucky to be working in those technologies. I mean, definitely that benefits us, the growing market of the protective and predictive informational technologies, but we do want a bit to be normal. And I think that in Poland, this is possible. The more diverse set of businesses with more diverse set of focuses could actually be good, because all that I see, not all that I see, but I often see this hackathons on defense tech, on technology, but I rarely see things on education, for example, like new technologies in this sphere, or health tech focused on like a wider range of problems. So I think that we'd like to be normal, but definitely we do have hunger.
I just continue on the education. We didn't plan it, but actually we've just launched a growth academy for education startups.
Oh, that's cool.
And we were surprised by the quality of the applications, but that's also one topic that isn't so much supported, because I would say it's not so VC interesting, because the time to the market and the scale is often longer, yeah? But we are getting close to the end of the panel. We have like 3 minutes. I want to ask you, each of you, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. What you personally plan to do to kind of go with this innovation without borders and to help Poland, Ukraine, and our region in terms of getting better, bigger, more recognized, because that's also one thing I believe we should focus on. Who wants to start?
Okay, yeah. I mean, what would I like to do personally? I think that, you know, one of the things I want us to get much better at is talking about even micro failures. I will try to do that myself in our firm, Trafford. We are a little bit of a spoiler. In 2 weeks, we will launch our graveyard, which is a list of all the things that we planned and tried that failed, that didn't work out. But the second thing is, again, I want to be, as much as I can, a bridge between the knowledge and the talent we have here. So I will do my best to try to bring, sadly, I had a conference that did this a few years ago called Pipeline Summit, where we only allowed people to speak who'd never spoke before. Now, anything I can do, again, the best thing I can offer is probably if you are looking for a connection and I have that connection in my LinkedIn or wherever, you can always ask me to make an intro. Do you have any example of someone that can give knowledge in email marketing, in SMS marketing, whatever it may be? I'm super happy to be the bridge, and I hopefully will try to keep doing that to some extent.
I think I've shared with you, I would do endeavor.
What will you?
Yeah, because, you know, with support of such people as Sebastian Kulczyk, Marcin Żukowski, Maciek Noga, Eva Schmid, and supporting entrepreneurs like founders of Booksy, 11 Labs, Silent 8, Spacelift, we actually help them inspire, mentor, and invest in the next generation. And I will continue doing that. And I will actually inspire you not to do another startup, sorry. I would inspire you to join some of the experienced, globally connected, globally minded growth entrepreneurs. Learn from them, and then do your startup with their support and with the experience you gain from them.
So PayPal Mafia, Skype Mafia, we need it definitely for the region. Maybe 11 Labs Mafia soon. Katerina?
Yeah, and basically I'm going to do what I believe and what our company believes in sharing knowledge. We are, in the nearest future even, doing a workshop at Kyiv School of Economics, doing the lecture with the school admin Cifre. So basically we are sharing knowledge, and I hope that we will do even more for more talent to be just grown naturally and contribute to our growth.
And I asked you, so I will also make a statement on our end. So I think we will commit, or we commit to a couple of things. One thing is continue to support the Ukraine, which we do with the second Ukraine support fund. Second, continue to support the community in Poland, which we do by the physical space, by the campus and all the things we do. But last, I think, bring more and more entrepreneurs into our global and European programs, which just recently in the healthcare, we got 2 out of 24 from Poland. Previously, we got 4 out of 30, which is, again, a good number, and I believe and I encourage you to start your companies still, not only to join the companies, but regardless if you are within a company or you join a company, get engaged into the international programs, like learn from people from abroad, bring this knowledge to Poland, and then bring it from Poland and from Ukraine further. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.